And we're at day 21 of 50 days of fitness. We've made it 3 weeks, and so we're getting close to halfway there. We're getting pretty close, and so I don't know how you feel about where you are. I can tell some differences. I did a weigh-in today since we're 3 weeks out, and I had a surprise on the scale, but the opposite way of what I would have liked. I'm up a couple of pounds from my weight yesterday. I've been pretty consistent there for 3 or 4 days at 205, and today I bumped up to 207, and I don't know why. I really don't know why, but that's just part of the deal. There is going to be some fluctuation. I'm still generally in a downward trend, which is what we want. Yesterday I talked a little bit about caffeine. Today I thought I would continue that idea of supplements. And so today I thought I would talk about creatine. I don't know if you can see that. Creatine. So creatine is a supplement, and it has had, now, got to stop, do all my disclaimers. I'm not a medical professional. I'm not a dietitian. I'm not even a trainer. These are just my opinions. It's stuff that I've read, stuff that I've seen online, stuff that from my own experience. So I can't, I can't say that this is 100% correct. And so if you are a physical trainer, if you are a dietitian, if you are a physician or some medical professional, and you have better information, please feel free to put it in the comments. I am always glad to be corrected, but these are my understandings. So creatine, I do know it has been very, very thoroughly studied. There have been tons and tons of studies on creatine. And again, I'm not an expert on those, but I do happen to know that they've done that. And so in general, it seems that the studies conclude that creatine is, in general, a very safe supplement to take, and it does seem to enhance your muscle recovery and enhance muscle development. So those all sound good. Now, in the last few years, I've been seeing some information that says there have been studies about creatine and your mental health, that it helps your brain activity. And again, I can't speak a whole lot to that. I went, and since I knew I was going to be making this, I watched a couple of more videos on that to try to learn a little bit about it. And from what I understand, there are some studies that seem to indicate that it does help your brain activity, but most of that is for people who are kind of elderly, like me, who are like 65 and older. Those people tend to get some benefit from that. I don't know how much, if any, benefit you get if you're less than that. It does seem to have some positive effects for you, both physically and potentially even mentally, to take it. And it does overall seem to be relatively safe. There are some caveats. There are some things, people who have some sort of kidney disease, or if they have compromised kidney function for some reason. I did see one thing that said that, hey, if you have that kind of stuff going on, maybe this isn't a good supplement for you. So I thought I would just kind of show you. Generally, this is, I'm not necessarily recommending any particular thing. This was stuff I bought off of the internet, and I chose it for a couple of reasons. One, it appeared to be one of the less expensive ones that I found when I was searching. And it also didn't seem to have any like supplements or anything else added to it, which sometimes you kind of have to watch that. Some supplements, they add a bunch of stuff to it. And so it comes, let me see if I can get it here. It comes and it's a powder, and it comes and it has a little scoop. And in general, this little scoop, which I think is going to be the same in just about any of these powder things, is about 5 grams. And you can mix it in with what a lot of people do is they'll fix themselves a protein shake so that they're getting their protein supplement, and they'll add this in. So how much do you use? Well, it used to be what was recommended is that basically one 5 gram scoop was enough for a day. And they did say, it takes a while. You have to kind of build up the level in your body before it starts having effect. And so there were some people that said, hey, you want to really have a heavy load of that for the first few weeks, and then you cut back down to 5 grams, 1 scoop a day. And they were saying that you do like 20 scoops a day starting out, and then maybe the second week you do 15, and the third week you do 10, and then the last week you do 5, and you're at your maintenance dose. But there's really no need to do that, and there is evidence that if you take a lot of it like that, it can kind of mess up your digestive system a little bit, kind of give you, stomach problems, and so, it will build up over time. It just won't happen as quickly. And so I don't know that you need to do that, but in the last couple of years, I've been seeing some stuff that says that, hey, that 5 gram, that 1 scoop dose is not necessarily what it should be for all people. The idea before was this is enough. That's all you need to worry about. And lately I've been seeing stuff that's like, that's not really very realistic. It's going to depend upon the person to some extent. It's going to depend upon whether it's a man or it's a woman. It's going to depend upon whether it's a big person versus a small person. And so I've seen some guys who are saying, especially bigger men, people who are working out a lot, they probably want to take 10, maybe even 20 milligrams a day. So they want to take, 2 to 4 times kind of the standard dose. Again, I think you probably need to check into that, do your own research on that, and kind of see what you say. I have not been taking it since I, quit working out regularly after my last cancer thing, but it is something to take. Now, there's another thing to know about, and that is that taking creatine does tend to, you do tend to gain a little weight. So if you start taking it, don't be surprised if you start gaining a little weight. And there's a few reasons for that. One reason is it does seem to cause you to retain some water. I don't know how much, but that's one thing that some people I know who are like trainers and other things used to tell me. It's like, I'm not that interested in it because I don't really think that the benefits you get from it are much more than just retaining water weight. And I can't speak to that. I don't know if that's true or not. It does seem like you do probably retain some water, but it does also seem to really help your muscle development. So that's one thing to think about. And it is one of those things where you just want to, one of the other things is that if it is developing your muscle mass, your muscle mass is just more dense than your fat. And so if you are actually developing your muscle mass, you would naturally weigh a little more anyway. So that's about all I really know about creatine. And I am, again, going to repeat, please do your own research, check with people you trust. You might want to look it up online and maybe make your own decisions. My basic understanding is it's relatively safe. It seems to have a lot of benefits, and there's, it could be something that you might want to add to your regimen. So All right, my friends, we are at right at 10 minutes, and we're going to call it a day for today. That ends week 3, day 21 of 50 Days of Fitness. And I hope I see you tomorrow for day 22. And if you find this useful, or if you know a friend who might enjoy it, maybe you can like it for me, or maybe share it with a buddy. And if you are following along, you might even want to subscribe to the channel. I have a previous 50-day challenge on 50 Days of Trash, which a lot of people seem to really like that one. You might check that one out if you're interested in that. And we will get through this in 50 days. Following that, we will start another 50-day challenge, which has not yet been determined. But I hope that you enjoyed this, and hope to see you maybe tomorrow. Take care, my friends. Bye. Have a great day.